Oil prices, gasoline prices, both are coming down pretty sharply. This is a clear indication that demand is not keeping up with a lot more supply. This tells us that as demand is declining, as supply is increasing, prices moving lower, it's a signal that the economy is starting to slow down. There's probably a lot more. Where will oil prices bottom out? Keep in mind there's a war over in Russia and Ukraine. They would love to see prices much higher. OPEC will probably grant them that. OPEC will also take care of its own pocketbooks. But OPEC likes to cheat. We'll see how that plays out. Russia certainly loves to cheat. I've got an article I want to show you real quick, a headline on that. We will see oil prices and gasoline prices move lower, but we're about mid-range for the spikes higher and historically and the bottoms historically as well. Let's jump in, show you some charts. We'll see oil prices moving lower, but probably not much more. And then it's time to start buying the dips. Let's jump in. If you're just joining me for the first time, thanks so much. Make sure to hit the like and follow button. I'm an economist. I break down the economy and I show you how that will affect the stock market. Here I'm showing you an article. It was a great article out of Bloomberg this morning. I saw that and I kind of laughed a little bit. Basically, and I'll paraphrase this for you really quickly, Russian, they're calling it a ghost fleet, sort of registered to Russia, maybe not. These ships are showing up offshore to other ships, offloading their oil, and then that oil is showing up into the world economies with a different flag on those ships. So they're basically found themselves a workaround. Russia's cheating. Gee, who knew? This is one of the reasons why we're seeing price decline, because there really aren't any kind of restrictions on Russia. But let's take a look at, this is WTI, West Texas Intermediary. It's a CFO, contract for difference, CFD. A CFD, basically, it's an instrument that you can trade on certain platforms, and it basically mimics another instrument, contract for difference. And as you can see, the price of WTI is moving much lower. Let's put it into perspective. Here's a monthly chart, same instrument, but as you can see, we're just slightly below what might be considered midline for historical numbers going all the way back to the early 2000s. We saw a big, huge spike up in 2006, then a complete collapse with the financial crisis. More moderate pricing throughout, say, the Obama administration. We saw a big drop lower during the Trump administration. Then, of course, all sorts of craziness happening with oil in 2020. The Russian invasion, we saw spikes higher, but there was also supply concerns during that period of time. Biden stepped in and started dumping some of the SPR out in order to get supply to even out demand. Then the war hit. We see the spike. Now we're moving a bit lower. I don't know that we're going to see, say, $60 per barrel, maybe even $50 per barrel, but we are certainly pushing lower. We'll probably see the 6 handle here, or the 60 handle here at some point. Will we go as low as 50? Probably not, but we'll see how things play out. OPEC will adjust supply. Gasoline futures, the story is exactly the same. We're all seeing some relief at the pump. It will continue. And again, here's a monthly chart on gasoline futures, and as you can see, there's some, we're below what would be considered the mid-range. These are historical prices. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Geopolitical, supply, demand, every once in a while a pandemic. These are the things that are going to affect the price. When we see these prices moving lower, you're going to see OPEC start making cuts. They have to. They don't want to start pumping oil and selling it at a loss. So they will cinch up their supplies, what they're pulling out, to increase price overall. Now, I will step in. USO stock. USO stock is an ETF For those of you who do not trade commodities directly, there are ETFs where you can get involved. USO Stock is an ETF where you can actually do that and play the oil market. I expect we'll see some moderation in price. I expect we'll see a lot more of OPEC pounding on their chest saying, yeah, this isn't going to happen. We'll probably see price moderate a little bit lower. The economy is starting to slow down. We're seeing that in unemployment. As unemployment increases, demand, people aren't driving, people aren't buying things off Amazon, demand for gasoline and by extension oil drops. From that, price follows. This is classic economics. OPEC stepping in, cutting production, we could call that classic economics because OPEC's been around for what, 60, 70 years now? Given that, I could see us dipping into the 60 handle, maybe not the 50 handle, but I'm going to be taking this on a buy on the dip opportunity. I'm not going to be selling into this because we're getting to the point where it's getting overextended in their selling. But we are at the beginning of the economic contraction. It's probably going to be modest. Then I kind of expect the economy to turn right back around and sort of start moving back upward. Then I expect the Federal Reserve to say interest rates need to go higher because inflation isn't hitting our 2% target rate. Once those interest rates move higher, yeah, oil, USO stock will fall further. OPEC will step in. Then you're going to see USO stock oil prices moving back upward. So I'm taking a very big, broad look over the course of, say, all of 2024, simply because it's hard to kind of envision what damage the Federal Reserve has already done to our economy. We're seeing the results of that start to play out. We'll see over the next 3, 4, 6 months how badly unemployment moves higher. Did they go too far, the Federal Reserve? My rule of thumb, the Federal Reserve never gets it right. They did not hit that interest rate level where magically inflation hits 2%. Did they go too far? Did they not go far enough? We will find out that information as time goes by. We don't have that information now. But I'm looking for oil to kind of bottom out a little bit, then move back upwards. Then I'm looking for oil to move down sharply. This is an ongoing thing. I'll continue to update this. I've been putting out videos pretty much weekly on oil and gasoline futures and USO stock. So if this is what you follow and you like to trade, make sure to hit that like and follow button because I will continue to update this as the economy progresses. Hit that like and follow. We'll see you in the next video.